Coming up, the Vipers had a big night last night against the Spark. We'll also talk with Joe Medley of EASportstoday.com. All that and more is next on Southern Sports Now. Welcome in on this Thursday, July the 13th, 2023. I'm Chase Robinson. Hope your Thursday is going great. We're getting closer to the weekend, and it's been a big week in sports. We've had a lot to cover, and we are back at it again today for your favorite local sports content here on Southern Sports Now. We're on the East Alabama Now YouTube channel. We're on the East Alabama Now Facebook page. That's where you can watch us each and every day. Share it with your friends. Spread the word about Southern Sports Now. You can also follow us on Twitter at EAN_sports. So glad you are joining us today, though, and again, share it with your friends. It is Southern Sports Now. We like to count you down to the football season because we're excited. We know you're excited. And so let's look at our countdowns to college football. We are 43 days away from week 0 of the college football season. Yes, we are 43 days away from August the 26th. That is week 0. 10 games will be played that day, and our Jacksonville State Gamecocks will be up as they will take on UTEP there to get the season started. Week 0, 4:30 kickoff on that game will be on CBS Sports Network, but you can go check it out there at Burgess Snow Field. Again, August 26th, and we are 43 days away from college football. We are 41 days away from the high school football season, and so we are inching our way closer there to high school football, and so looking forward to that. We'll talk more high school football later on with Joe Medley. We'll also talk a little Piedmont Bulldogs football later on as well, but we're fired up for the high school football season that begins August the 24th. That is week 0 of the high school football season. Coming up on Fridays, we do our Southern Sports Now mailbag, and you can go ahead and get your questions in now, and we'll answer them tomorrow on the show. You can send us an email, eansports23@gmail.com. You can send us a message there on Facebook on the East Alabama Now Facebook page. Shoot us a direct message there on Twitter at EAN_sports. But you can get those in there in the Southern Sports Now mailbag, and we do that every Friday. The Vipers last night got a big win over the Spark. Now, this is the first series win for the Vipers all season as they take 2 out of 3 from the Oklahoma City Spark. 8-0 last night. The Vipers got the win in shutout fashion in 5 innings. It was a run rule game in the win there for the Vipers. So huge for Coach Jerry Glasgow and the Smash It Sports Vipers to win the series. And, hey, that gives them a little confidence, a little momentum heading into their road stretch here. They've got 3 straight series on the road before they come back later this month to Choccolocco Park and kind of put a wrap on the regular season, get ready for that tournament there, the postseason tournament. But you got to be happy with the way the Vipers are playing right now, especially in this series. They could have very well gotten the sweep, close game on Monday night, win on Tuesday night and last night, but great series for the Vipers. And so they get the 8-0 win to close out the series with the Spark. That's it's big deal there for the Vipers softball team, and we'll see what they can do as they head on the road next up to play the Pride, and then they'll take on the Texas Smoke again, and then the Spark again there in the road series. But congratulations there to the Vipers on the run rule last night and the shutout. Amber Pfizer pitched a fantastic game for the Vipers in the 8-0 win there over the Spark. We'll talk more Vipers. We'll talk some high school football coming up as Joe Medley of EASportstoday.com joins us on the other side. Stick around.
Here at Ted's, we are excited to now be offering custom-made cabinets. With that in mind, we're changing our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond is going to encompass everything that we offer in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
EAN Sports is proud to bring you the best, most informative local sports content, and we want your help to be able to do that. If you have a story idea, a tip for our sportscast, or even a highlight clip you want to see on EAN Local Sports, send us an email, eansports23@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter @EAN_sports, or you can send it to the EAN News Facebook page. EAN Sports, bringing you the local sports happening in your community.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
If you see some interesting weather phenomenon in your backyard here in East Alabama, send that to us. We would love to hear from you. Send that to us at the email address you see on your screen or through Facebook at EAN News.
We are back here on Southern Sports Now. I'm Chase Robinson here on this Thursday. Hope you're having a great day. We talked a little earlier about the Vipers, and we're going to talk some more Vipers and some high school football now as we welcome on Joe Medley of EASportsToday.com. Joe, always great to talk with you. How are you today? How are you today, Joe?
Good. How you doing, Chase?
Doing well. Great to have you on. And I know it is busy getting ready for high school football season and the high school sports to start back. But I know Vipers softball has been keeping you busy as of late. And 2 straight wins for the Vipers over a really good Spark team this week.
Yeah, I think they're finally starting to get going. They had a break there for a week where they didn't play any games and came out of it, I think, playing a lot better. They almost swept that series. They came within 1 out of winning the first game of the series. They were 2 outs on the top of the 7th. They're winning 4-3, and then the Sparks scores 4 runs. But then they come back in the second game and win that second game. They come back from an 8-0 deficit, score 4 in the 6th, 4 in the 7th, and then 3 in the 8th. To win that game. And then last night they dominated 8-0 and run ruled them in 5 innings. So they're a young team. I think that's finally starting to kind of get their groove going. And they've never really had all the players that they were expecting to have. You know, obviously Montana Fouts is with Team USA right now. And Allie Shipman, she had a thumb injury. She's not there. They have Ashley Rogers, who was their top draft pick from Tennessee, but they're trying to work her back from an arm injury that happened. It was kind of an overuse injury that happened during the college season. So they're trying to get her back. She was in the bullpen warming up last night, but didn't play. But you know, you've never gotten the feeling that this team's given up, even though they were 2-11 at one point, and now they're 4-12 and getting ready to go on the road for 3 straight series.
Yeah, so you know you've been covering these games, you've been watching this team. What kind of differences have you seen prior to the break to this series we saw this week, where they were able to win their first series?
You know, I think it was just some confidence, really. They first of all, I think it helped last night that they had Amber Pfizer in the circle. She's got 3 of their 4 wins this year, and she's a veteran pitcher who brings it. She's kind of an interesting character too. She's a second-degree black belt, so nobody ever charges the circle against her. But she's a really good pitcher, and so I think that really gives them some confidence when she's in the circle. But I think just having something good happen to them, and it almost happened to them the night before on Monday, but then it happened with that big comeback and really kind of a miraculous comeback on Tuesday night, and now they're just playing with confidence. You know, they got a lot of young teams. Some of some young players. They're some of their big personalities on the teams are rookies. McKenna Smith, a third baseman. If you ever go to a Vipers game and sit outside the press box and can hear what's going on the field. She's constantly talking. She's like the auctioneer of enthusiasm at third base, and talking to the pitchers, talking to everybody on the field, kind of the team cheerleader, and they got some other big personalities on that team that I think are starting to kind of find their groove.
And I know offensively for the Vipers, I feel like every game I see Susie Brookshire's name, Mary Okopo, some of the kind of the key pieces for the Vipers offense.
Yeah, and Mary, of course, she had the game-winning hit in that game Tuesday night, and in the 8th inning, she came up with a runner on, and they had just tied the game, and she shot it over the left center field wall right under the scoreboard out there, and she's another one that has kind of that presence. You can tell she's a veteran player. She kind of has a big personality. She's kind of a leader on that team, and when she comes up in that situation and she gets told to swing away, she blasted it.
We're talking with Joe Medley from EASportstoday.com. And just as you've been covering the Vipers, Joe, I know this is new to Oxford to have a professional sports team, and this is a new league in the women's professional fast pitch. Just your thoughts overall as you've been covering these games and getting to know the coaches and the administration of the league and of the team. Your thoughts on just the Vipers coming to Oxford and what you've witnessed so far.
I think it's a good match. There's a pretty good softball enthusiast community around here. You see high school teams, youth teams, all-star teams coming to every game. You see local high school players, local catchers who are there to do bullpens with them when they have pitchers warm up in the bullpen. And Casey Brothers from Piedmont was there last night, and she's been there for at least one other game this year that I covered. And she brings her catcher equipment and catches the pitchers. And I asked her once, and she said those pro pitches come a lot harder and they come with a lot more spin. but there seems to be a real good feel between the local softball community and that team. And the more they start winning, you might see a broader audience out there. You see a lot of the folks from the city employees. Don Hudson from Parks and Recreation, you see him out there all the time, and you're starting to see again just some general clientele, just some people that you might not see even at a high school game. They're starting to show up out of curiosity, and I think it's a better marriage, I think, than the Monsters were last year with the wood bat baseball.
For sure, and you can see coverage there on EASportstoday.com of the Vipers every game. We're talking with Joe Medley, and Joe, want to shift gears to high school football as we're getting closer and closer to the season kicking off. Media days in a couple of weeks for high school, and then practice will start, and then the season will be here. Had a chance to see some teams in 7-on-7s the last couple of weeks, and just as we get ready for the season, who are some teams that stand out to you going into this season that you think could be successful?
Well, I was at the 7-on-7 at McClellan the other day, and I got to look at Jacksonville. They look good. Jim Ogle he's about to enter his senior year, and I think he's going to have a big year. And he's got a lot of the other skill players around him. His top receivers back from last year. So that they're going to be a team that's fun to watch, especially on that new turf at Golden Eagle Stadium. I think that's a really good match for them. And it's going to be a lot of fun, too, to watch some, 4A South competition play on that turf with them. Piedmont, I think, might surprise people this year. I think people are maybe not as high on them as they've been recently, simply because Steve Smith moved on and they lost 9 starters, including Jack Hayes on offense. But Cole Wilson is the new quarterback, and the knock on Jack Hayes was always his size. Well, Cole Wilson's got it, and he's a big left-handed kid and can really spin it. And the 2 starters they have back on offense are their 2 top receivers from last year. So I think they're going to be a fun team to watch. And Jonathan Miller's always been able to find a way to use his talent. So I think they're going to be better than a lot of people think. I think Oxford's going to be improved this year. Mason Mims coming back as a junior starter quarterback this year. And all the skill people he's got around him. Anniston, they're kind of a mystery. It's kind of the narrative you find with a lot of other teams around here. New coach, and of course they did lose some players from last year, but they had Gavin Doss come over from Sachs. He's going to be a quarterback, and that'll enable J. Money Lewis to kind of move around and do different things, and I think they're going to be fine, even though some of their kids went to Mae Jemison with Rico White. I think the usual suspects, Alexandria, they lost Antonio Ross, but somehow Todd Ginn always finds a way to use his guys, and I think they're going to be fine. I think it's going to be another year. You might not see 9 teams from Calhoun County make the playoffs like it's been the last couple of years, but I think you're still going to see a pretty good number of those, and you got some teams that maybe can make a run.
And, Joe, I think 94 coaching changes across the state of Alabama, several right here in this area as well. Really kind of a bizarre offseason with all the coaching changes. You mentioned Jonathan Miller, a familiar face, just moving to a new school, some first-year head coaches, but a lot of new faces on the sidelines for these schools this fall.
In a lot of sports too, the folks of the Calhoun County Board of Education are getting to know me really well because I keep showing up at the meetings for the hirings, and it's 5 in football. 5 schools around here have new coaches, and in one case, the coach is a familiar face that went from one school to another, and that adds a lot of mystery meat quality to this season. And but I, in meeting and talking to some of these coaches, I think they're going to do well. I was impressed. I haven't met him in person yet, but I was impressed with Alfonso Freeney, the new Sachs coach, when I talked to him on the phone, and that was kind of an interesting match. Former JSU guy, played for JSU, and he came up from Florida to coach up here. I didn't realize it till I read it, but apparently Florida doesn't pay their coaches very well, and so you got a guy that went 9-2 with his brand new team last year that was 0-10 the year before that. And he found Calhoun County a lot more attractive to come up here and coach, coming from Florida, where all that talent tends to be, or at least reputedly tends to be. And so I think he's going to be an interesting kind of wild card on the sideline this year.
And kind of moving out of football, Ohatchee did find replacements in basketball and on the baseball field this week as well. So that was big moves for the Ohatchee Indians in bringing in Kyle Wilson and Kyle Parrish.
Yeah, and first with Ohatchee, there's a group that's been together for a long time. And now you're kind of finally, life's happening, and you're starting to see those people move on. Blake Jennings is at White Plains now, getting his chance to be a head football coach, which I know he really wanted. Bryant Ginn went back to Alexandria, where he graduated. So the group that's been together for a while is kind of disbanded, and now they bring in Kyle Wilson in boys basketball, Kyle Parrish in baseball, and then they promoted Aaron Jackson for girls basketball. So it's kind of a big turnover all in one year there for Ohatchee. But all of these guys, just in talking to them, they sound pretty impressive. And in Kyle Wilson's case, he's been a head coach. He was a head coach at Alberta, which is a brand new school that jumped from Class 2A to Class 5A in one classification cycle, and he's kind of had to manage that the last 3 years. And I think he seems to be a good fit for a small community and the kind of kids that you have there that are kind of blue collar kids that I know worked really hard under Bryant Ginn. You talk to coaches around here that play Ohatchee, and they talked about how hard the kids play, and that's the kind of kids that I think that he likes to work with.
Joe Medley, you can see his work there on easportstoday.com. Joe, really appreciate you coming on with us, talking some local sports. We'll have to do it again soon, but appreciate your time today.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for the education on Skype. I feel like I've advanced today.
All right. Very good. Glad I could help you. Joe Medley, easportstoday.com, joining us here on Southern Sports Now. We'll jump to a break. Much more to get to as we roll on this Thursday.
Here at Ted's, we are excited to now be offering custom-made cabinets. With that in mind, we're changing our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond is going to encompass everything that we offer in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welberg Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
We are back here on Southern Sports Now on a Thursday. Glad you're hanging out with us. Appreciate Joe Medley from EASportstoday.com joining us last segment, talking some high school football. I want to continue that high school football talk now, specifically talk some Piedmont Bulldogs football. Had a chance to see them at the FCA 7-on-7 earlier this week and catch up with Coach Jonathan Miller, as well as, not used to seeing him in the blue, but his Piedmont Bulldogs looking good and a lot to replace this year. They had 9 starters depart from the team, graduate, including Jack Hayes, who broke all kinds of records there at Piedmont. But certainly a lot of talent back for Piedmont and a team that, as always, you should watch out for. Had a chance to talk with their new head coach, Jonathan Miller. Of course, spent time at Sacs and now with the Piedmont Bulldogs after 11 seasons with the Wildcats. And, he talked to me just kind of about this team and what he's seen as he's been able to kind of watch them as he took the job in April and kind of get to know them through the spring and summer, just what he knows about this team so far.
I think we're going to have the opportunity to be pretty lethal in the passing game. We got a good receiving core, like I said earlier. Got a quarterback that can throw it. So, I think we can be a good offensive team. We're still in work in progress defensively, but we'll get there.
Cole Wilson will be taking over at quarterback. And as Joe was talking with us earlier, Jack Hayes, the guy. He has been the guy for Piedmont the last 4 years as he's been a starter. But Cole Wilson comes in. He's a bigger guy. He's tall, left-handed quarterback. Was really impressed with some of the throws that he made there at the 7-on-7 on Tuesday. And Coach Miller talked about kind of what he's seen from Cole Wilson and what he's going to bring to the team.
He's a guy that can spin it. He can throw it, and he's got a good receiving core. So Cole's just got to understand he's got to distribute the ball, not try to do too much because he's got playmakers. And, Cole can make plays. He can make every throw, and, he's done a good job for us so far.
One thing I noticed in talking with Coach Miller, even in the parts of the interview that I didn't play, he said about 4 or 5 times he talked about his group of receivers, and I think that really stands out to him, the guys that he has that can catch the ball, the playmakers around Cole Wilson, and he said it there. They have a really good core of receivers, and I think we'll see them a lot this year, and that'll help any quarterback. Your quarterback is only as good as the people around him. If he can put the ball, right on the money, if he can make the plays, he's got to have somebody to catch it, and Piedmont has those guys that can make the plays, that can catch what the balls Wilson puts up there. So I think Piedmont offensively is going to be really good this year under the leadership of Cole Wilson there at quarterback and the group of receivers that he has around him. Also asked Coach Miller just about the transition for him coming from Sacs to Piedmont, what that's been like over the last couple of months.
Everything's been smooth as far as that goes. We finally had a chance. We didn't do spring training, so we got a chance to get out here on the field for the first time today and compete a little bit. So everything's been good.
So that was their first time on the field. They'll have another 7-on-7 in a couple of weeks, some OTAs in there as well. But the Piedmont Bulldogs, I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon. As much as people may say, oh, they're going to take a step back, I don't think so. I think Piedmont's going to pick right up where they left off with the success that they've had, and they just have a new guy leading them, Jonathan Miller, and he's had a lot of success as a head coach as well. He has a record of 132 as a head coach, so looking forward to seeing what the Piedmont Bulldogs can do this year. Here's some notes for you as you get ready for the high school football season. Some scheduling notes and changes involving Alabama schools and Georgia schools, and the way that it's worked out this year is the Alabama schools and the Georgia schools do not have the same dates that they can play each other, the way the region schedules have worked out and everything. So we've got some local schools who have had to replace some games with Georgia schools. So Cherokee County was scheduled to play Model Georgia to open up the season on August 25th. They have had to scratch that game. Now we'll see Cherokee County Alexandria, which I think is going to be a fantastic game to start the season there on week 0. And they used to play each other a few years ago and it turned into a good little rivalry to start the season. But Cherokee County Alexandria will start the season there. Week 1, we've had a change with Cleburne County. They were scheduled to play Mount Zion, Georgia. They have replaced Mount Zion with Reeltown. So we'll see Cleburne County and Reeltown on September the 1st. And then I'm super excited about this one. Also on September the 1st, Anniston was scheduled to play Villa Rica, Georgia. This was a really good game last year. Anniston got the win, but they have had to replace that game. And this is going to be a tough one for the Bulldogs. They go on the road to Andalusia. And if you remember, this was a quarterfinal round game last year. And Andalusia won it on the last possession of the game. Anniston led throughout the game. Andalusia made a comeback and won on the last possession. And so Anniston will go to Andalusia on September the 1st, week 1 of the high school football season. So we will find out very quickly how the Anniston Bulldogs are, as they've got a tough one there in week 1 as they go on the road to Andalusia in a big rematch game. So those are just some scheduling notes to pass along to you as we are getting you ready for high school football season. And just the fact that some of these Alabama teams and Georgia teams aren't able to play this year. I'm sure we'll see these games pick back up in the future, but the way the schedule is, just not able to work out this year. But it sets up some really good matchups, as you saw. Big matchup there with Cherokee County, Alexandria, Cleburne County, Reeltown, and then that Anniston at Andalusia should be a fantastic football game as well. So those are some high school football notes to pass along with you. Let's jump to a break. We'll come back, hit on a little Major League Baseball and a little college football to wrap things up next here on Southern Sports Now.
Here at Ted's, we are excited to now be offering custom-made cabinets. With that in mind, we're changing our name to Ted's Floors and Beyond. The Beyond is going to encompass everything that we offer in addition to all of your flooring needs.
We've partnered with Welber Cabinet Company, who makes the highest quality cabinets in the industry.
So when you're ready for a complete kitchen or bathroom remodel, shop Ted's.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
Hi, I'm Dr. Rodney Sneed from both CARES and Direct Primary Care. Direct Primary Care is an exciting new model of medical care growing on both the East and West Coast. It's been recommended by Forbes and the American Academy of Family Physicians and others for individuals or small businesses with or without health insurance. The pure simplicity of a membership model streamlines the burden of medical care. It eliminates 60% of the overhead. That streamlining allows providers time to focus on patients with free, no copay, no deductible, unhurried office visits or telehealth visits with minimal waiting room time. It produces same or next day appointments and access by text or telephone during and after hours. It saves you from leaving work, wasting time and getting exposed in a waiting room. And the convenience and cost with barriers removed helps one avoid letting problems like a sore throat turn into an expensive ER or hospital visit for pneumonia. If you're interested, search the web for CARES Direct Primary Care.
Ted's Floors and Beyond brings you Southern Sports Now. Ted's Floors and Beyond has a new partnership with Welborn Cabinet. They now can offer you a complete kitchen or bath makeover. That includes cabinets, countertops, flooring, backsplashes, and tile showers. They, of course, have all of your flooring needs in hardwood, laminate, carpet, tile, and luxury vinyl. 0% interest financing for 12 months and free in-home estimates. Lifetime warranty on flooring installation. So check them out. They're locally owned and operated. Ted's Floors and Beyond, right there on Highway 431 in Anniston, right before Sachs Elementary School. And you can check them out online, shopteds.com. We appreciate Ted's Floors and Beyond for bringing you Southern Sports Now. Well, if you keep up with college football, you've been hearing of the, it's been a tough week up at Northwestern as head coach Pat Fitzgerald has been fired. Some hazing situation going on within the program. The administration said, hey, Coach Fitzgerald, we're going to put you on a leave of absence while we figure this out. They ended up letting him go of his job. It's just a crazy situation up at Northwestern. And so now they are without a head coach. And we're, 40-something days away from kicking off the college football season. And so imagine they're going to go the interim route right now. But the question is, where will Northwestern go from here? And the one name that's coming up a whole lot is Tommy Rees. Now, who is Tommy Rees? Alabama fans know he's the offensive coordinator at Alabama, was hired in the offseason. And so he is from the Chicago area, which is where Northwestern is. And so a lot of folks are saying this could be his job. Will he be next at Northwestern? Alabama fans say, well, I hope not. I don't think it's something to worry about this year. In fact, it's most likely not something to worry about this year. I don't think they're going to go hire a new coach right now. They're going to go, take one of their staff, put them as an interim, and let this season play out. But, I could see November, December, them making a decision of who the head coach is going to be. I imagine Tommy Rees will at least interview for the job. He's a younger guy, up-and-coming coach, very smart offensive mind. And so could it be one and done for Tommy Rees at Alabama? Well, we'll have to see. We've seen it happen before with coordinators under Nick Saban. But that is something to keep an eye on is could Tommy Rees be a one and done and head to Northwestern? Well, we'll just have to see. And, of course, we'll see how he does as an offensive coordinator in Alabama here in just a few weeks now as the season starts. But that could be a possibility. Could imagine he would interview for the job if he wants to be a head coach. This would be a great starting point for him as a head coach as well. So that's something to keep an eye out on as we head into the college football season. Also, Braves, of course, 2 weeks away from the trade deadline for Major League Baseball. What are the Braves going to do? Should they do anything? That's the question. I could think of maybe go get a couple of bullpen arms. You don't really want anybody else in the lineup the way this lineup's playing. I mean, the guys in the field doing great as well. Maybe get another bat you could throw in here and there. But I think the focus for the Braves, if they do anything at the trade deadline, would be getting some bullpen arms and see if they can strengthen up the pitching staff a little bit more. But that's all I can think of. The way the Braves are playing right now, I mean, they're the best team in baseball. And should be fun the rest of the way out. But 2 weeks away from the trade deadline, and so we'll see what the Braves do here. Drop your thoughts in the comments below on YouTube or Facebook, and let us know what you think the Braves should do as far as the trade deadline, if anything. But it should be interesting to see what Alex Anthopoulos and the front office there for the Braves elect to do. But the trade deadline 2 weeks away. That is all the time we have for you today. Appreciate our guest, Joe Medley. We will be back to wrap up the week tomorrow for a Friday edition of the show. Hope you have a great rest of your Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow.